everyone. If f of x plus 1 divided by x equals x minus 1 over x, we're going to find f of x. So we have a lot of x's here. If you count them up, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're trying to find f of x. So I want this quantity here to be an x. And so what would make that an x? So what I'm going to do is set this to equal x. So we want it to equal x. It's confusing because we have too many x's here. So for just a little bit here, I'm going to let y equal x. And I'm going to write this as x plus 1 divided by x equals y. And then solve for x this way. And then I'll move it back. So when you cross multiply, you get x plus 1 equals xy. Now let's group our x's together. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. So you're going to get 1 equals xy minus x, because that cancels out. All right, factor out an x, because you're trying to solve for x. Then divide both sides by y minus 1. That cancels. So now we have x equals 1 divided by y minus 1. Now I'm going to substitute it back. So my x is going to really be, I'm going to substitute this back for x. 1 divided by x minus 1. So this is the value I'm going to put in every single one of these x's for substitution. And when I plug it into this quantity, I should get x, because that's how we set it up. So let's write that down. We have x equals 1 divided by x minus 1. And let's write out our problem and substitute. So I have my first x, which is 1 divided by x minus 1, then plus 1, divided by, here's my second x. So it's going to be 1 divided by, and I'm just substituting that, 1 divided by x minus 1. Okay, equals, here's my third x, 1 divided by x minus 1, minus 1 divided by, and my x, 1 divided by x minus 1. So basically, here were my 4 x's. All right, now let's clean this part up here. The only part that's a little hard with this one is here. We need to have the same common denominator. So if I make the denominator x minus 1, I have to multiply this by x minus 1. So what I'm going to get is f of 1 plus, and I want all of this over x minus 1. So it's going to be x minus 1 divided by 1 divided by x minus 1. Now what happens with this part is these two cancel. And so and the 1 minus 1 is 0. So we're going to get, for this part, f of x divided by 1, which is f of x. So our value that we got here is correct. So now all I have to do is clean this part up. So we got this part straight. So we have f of x equals 1 divided by x minus 1 divided by 1 divided by x minus 1. Now this part here is like saying 1 divided by that, I'll just write it this way, is the same as saying 1 times x minus 1 divided by 1. So this just flips up here, because that will cancel. So we really have 1 divided by x minus 1 minus x minus 1. To get the same denominator, since this is over 1, I'm going to multiply this by x minus 1 and this by x minus 1. So now we have f of x, let's do purple, f of x equals 1 minus, I'll do that in parentheses. When you multiply this out, that's going to be x squared minus 2x plus 1. This is like a minus b squared, divided by x minus 1. So when you straighten this part out, you can get 1 minus, take away the parentheses, x squared plus 2x minus 1 divided by x minus 1. So the 1's cancel, and we're left with this is our answer. Now, if you want to simplify this answer further, this numerator, I can pull out a negative x. I don't know how far you want to go. If you pull out a negative x, you'll get x minus 2 divided by your x minus 1. And that equals your f of x. So either one is fine. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.